completely fresh, full of energy. Today, my day started full of energy with coffee now. I slept like a baby, no alarm. I had 3 interviews scheduled. That is the most I've ever done in a day, or let's say in 12 hours actually. So yesterday I got back to my hotel and it was 9 p.m. in the evening. So I wasn't really tired and I was like, why would I go to bed so early? So I went to the gym, got myself really tired, got back to my hotel room and I was KO, like knocked out. And even forgot to set the alarm. So I literally woke up by myself this morning. So completely fresh, full of energy with coffee now. Today, my day started full of energy. I mean, I slept like a baby, no alarm. I just was, fresh and, ready to go. I mean, I needed that energy because I had 3 interviews scheduled. That is the most I've ever done in a day, or let's say in 12 hours actually. Let's start with the first interview I did today. Maraki work. حبيبتي درجة اسكاراتنا ميوت أهلن هاي لينا لينا بنينا دكتور It was a lifestyle interview. It actually started formal. That's the funny part. It was very much like a traditional interview. And then all of a sudden it took a turn. And when I say it took a turn, it really did. It turned into like this TV, like a fun show. The ones that I see on TV, literally never done it before. Today I have a very special interview with Marak Iwag, the first Ethiopian lifestyle celebrity, and I'm so curious to record part 1 of the interview. ነጠላ ኦሮሞ ልብስ ነው Okay, I'm running so late. It was such a long episode and I should have been at the next podcast right now. So I have to rush and I hate being late. The second interview. Just to give you context, I had to be there at 2 p.m. I left the previous interview at 2 p.m. And I needed to change my clothes because I didn't want to be, in an episode, 2 episodes with the same clothes. So we literally sprinted to my hotel, and believe it or not, we had the worst traffic ever. Apparently in Addis, on work days, traffic is bad. And I never saw it until now because I was in a rush. Anyway, I managed to go to my hotel, change in 5 minutes. That alone is like an accomplishment, I would say. I changed in 5 minutes and got back in the car, off to Sawaso podcast. I just finished my second gig for the day, one more to go. Sawaso podcast, and I like this podcast because the host is a lawyer, and he went more into depth on how certain businesses work, you know, how the process of business works, instead of the what do you do and where do you go and such. So I'm excited to see the results of this one, which was an interesting one because it was very much in depth into certain details, especially legal parts. My host, he was a lawyer, so I had to face two things here. So his level of Amariña was way higher than mine. I mean, I cannot speak formal Amariña. That was one thing, one challenge, but believe it or not, I overcame that and I managed to answer the questions correctly, I think. Second was the in-depth questions about how do you deal with law when you sell a company, how do you deal with that, the finance part of the whole spectrum. It was a lot, but guess what, I happen to know the answers because I literally went through it all, and it was an interesting one. It was different. Going back to my hotel to change quickly and go to my last gig for the day. The last but not least, Gugut podcast. I like it. I do not. That was actually a very fun one. I mean, the two guys that interviewed me were very young and very relaxed. I mean, the way they asked questions was very free, free of mind. They were asking me certain questions that are politically incorrect in a way, but I like that because I'm not afraid to answer any question in that sense. So that started a little rocky. That podcast started a little rocky because you have to get comfortable with each other, obviously, but it went smoothly after. From one podcast to the other, now I have my last podcast for the day, Gugut podcast. I mean, it's an intimate setting, and I'm curious to see what the questions will be. Because they are from a different generation, obviously their questions were quite different, especially compared to the previous one. It was a lot more about how do you do business, but how do I get ideas, where do I get ideas, and they moved fast, or let's say quick, to the game questions. obviously they were gamers. I mean, they knew what they were talking about, and the questions matched the ones that I expect from gamers. So yeah, it was an interesting one. And I think these guys and their audience are the ones that I will need the most once I launch the game. That was an intense podcast. It was all about business and my game. That's them. This is the Good podcast. And that's it. I'm done for today. Time to go home. And the day ended quite hectic and kind of, I feel drained. Maybe it's because I had to repeat my story several times from different angles, and the interviewers really made me think, but it was worth it. Weightlifting. ይከብዳል ደግሞ እችላለሁ እኮ በደንብ ዌይት ሊፍተር ነበርኩኝ። እሺ ለውጣው የማን ነው? ጥሩ ፖስቸር ያስፈልጋል። ቀጥ ተብሎ ሌግስ አውት እንደዚህ ከዛ It's the best thing ever. ጥሩ solution ነው። Tomorrow is the last day in Addis. I know, I'm sad, but there's a lot to do. I have to meet Hanan because yesterday I called Hanan and I told her I would like to hire her as my personal event assistant. Not just event assistant, but also as my PA here in Ethiopia. So I have to meet her and we have to go through all the details. Then I have to visit the Dawa museum. Maybe I can combine the two because remember the last time I went, it was closed on a random Tuesday. I have to say goodbye to my mom. I mean, I will see her in a month, but still, I would like to see her one last time, say goodbye. And then I have one more interview. I think it's an English one. And that's it. I mean, that is it. I have to go back to my hotel, pack all my stuff. I scheduled one massage, by the way, for myself, just as a goodbye. But then yeah, that's it. I feel sad when I mention it all, but hey, it's for a good cause. And I'm closing the night with a coffee-flavored, alcohol-free malt. I mean, coffee runs through my blood, and this helps to add a little flavor to it.